through the streets back to me, falling eyes I can't see all night long, but not too soon. I worship the moon. I worship the moon. My knees fall weak, my heart doth swoon. I worship the moon.
Dear sweet God, I had this on mute the entire goddamn time. Lord on mercy, no one told me. Well, we're starting the show over again, and I'm gonna edit. Welcome to BattleBots, everyone. Boo, boo, boo. Well, I hope you're enjoying the music. Hope you're enjoying all the fun that I'm about to bring you. Yeah, we're gonna ignore the fact that the first 15 minutes of this show, we couldn't hear anything. That was the issue. No one could hear that I was... We're not going to talk about it. We're not even going to discuss it. Welcome to BattleBots, the Thoughts on Bots. Thoughts on Bots with Red Jefferson. Geartooth Red Jefferson. Yeah, I've got hats. Yeah, there's music playing. We're all very excited about it. We're going to ignore the fact that I had missing audio for the first part. Thank you so much, Roy, for letting me know. Redley697, where were you at? Where were you at with that information? That would have been very helpful to know that I was inaudible. But what you couldn't have known because you didn't know I was asking. That's a very good point, Red. Big night we had. Big night we had. Very exciting stuff. I'm going to have to reset some of these things because I did go over some of the bot fights. Don't look real quick. Don't look real quick. Keep the screen open, but don't look. Here's the first fight. We're going to ignore this smoke in the corner, and we're going to ignore the size of the bots. We start off the night with Rotator versus Black Dragon. Rotator versus Black Dragon. We got Rotator here. Rotator run by Victor Soto. It's a modular horizontal spinning bot. Very exciting stuff. I don't like the bot. I think it's wobbly. I think the weight displacement is... I think there's too much weight on the wheels side. So the spinner kind of goes bouncy a little bit. Not good. Not a fan of that. But they have been successful so far. They did beat Kraken earlier in the night. Or the season, excuse me. And I like Kraken. I like Kraken. Ignore the smoke, Redley697. We're going to get to the smoke in a second. I like Kraken, but in their match, Rotator exploded Kraken, bashed up its face and hit its compressed air tank, causing a big puff. Very exciting stuff. They're going up against Black Dragon, Brazilian bot team, young team, run by Gabriel Maia. Gabriel Maia here. They got an egg beater drum spinner on the front. Very powerful, very durable bot. Very, very durable bot. They've never seen it die. Never see it die. I like Black Dragon, and I was hoping for a big win here against Rotator. But let's see what happens. We start off the fight with them meeting in the middle, and Rotator keeps showing its back to Black Dragon there. Keeps showing its back to it because it's got a wedge on the back, stopping that drum spinner from getting too close. And every now and then it gets these nice little swipes here and there, then gets these big hits into Black Dragon, cause it to hop up and down a little bit. Not very good for Black Dragon, but still sticking in there, being very durable. But then they start smoking. As I mentioned before, in the inaudible part of the segment, it starts smoking. I'll put on my fire. There was a fire. And took up the half the arena. It was so hard to see. But they kept at it. The drum spinner did stop working for a period of time, and then Rotator got some nice hits. We go to a judge's decision, and what do we get? Rotator with the big victory. Do I like this? No. Shit. Do I like this? No. No, I don't like this, because I don't necessarily like Victor Soto. I kind of think he's a jerk. But he does have a bot that works pretty well. It does a lot of damage. It's just that I don't see this design going up against Sawblaze. I don't see it happening. But either way, we're going up here. I picked Black Dragon to win this. Guess what I did? I guess wrong. I guessed real wrong with this one, and it hurt. It hurt bad because I wanted Black Dragon to win. But let's see how we fare with the rest of the night. Lucky versus Blade. Ignore the size of the bots when we go here. Ignore that this bot is so much bigger. It doesn't matter. We're going to go to this fight here. It's a international affair. International affair we got here. We got Lucky. Straight from Canada and Canada red color. It's a lifter puncher bot. I'm the only one who calls it a puncher bot. But it does that. It kind of punches forward, which is very exciting. It's run by Mark Dermers, and it's driven by Matt Olson. Matt Olson's apparently this real hot shot remote control car driver. And he really did a good job in their first fight against Tantrum, but his sportsmanship got in the way, and they could have had an easy victory, but he wanted to keep the fight going, which caused Tantrum to get the win. But I really like Lucky. Let's see how they do against this bot from South Korea. We got Blade here. Beautiful bot. Beautiful colors. Got some cool lights on it. And it's got this big horizontal bar spinner here. It's run by Xiog Yu Huang. I really practiced it, and I think I did a good job. And they got this bar spinner that's very reminiscent of Tombstone. Had a lot of success internationally, but they had a poor showing against Scorpios, where Scorpios mopped the floor with them. But we'll see how this goes. What we get here, we have the meeting in the middle again. Another meeting in the middle. Western movie. Very exciting Western movie. I had to get Western. And Lucky's wedge just keeps bopping Blade. Bopping away, getting him into the corner. Then Blade gets this big hit, but spins out of control, hits the wall, and the blade breaks off into the wall. The blade breaks off into the wall. Let me know what you think about blades breaking off into the wall, and it's no longer effective. Then Lucky just has its way, pushing it around, smacking around, gets some nice hit, and flips it upside down onto the BattleBots platform that we don't have here because we have a dated BattleBots. And they cannot move. We get Lucky with their first victory of the season, but hopefully not the last. I like Lucky. I like Lucky a lot. They're plucky. They got moxie. They got grit. Reminds me of a young duck before they got too big for their britches and started choosing aesthetic over functionality. I don't want to be mean to Duck. I love Duck, but I'm just calling it like I see it. But I like this team. I hope they go far. Are they the best lifter in BattleBots? I don't think so. But you know what? They got heart, and that goes a long way in Red's playbook. But we do have my first win of the night. I did pick Black Dragon because I thought that they had the gumption and the heart to get there, but they didn't. But Lucky did. And so we'll see how I fare for the rest of the night. Next up, we got Dragon Slayer versus Minotaur. This is when we left off, when I found out that I was inaudible this entire night. But what's very exciting about this, let's talk about Dragon Slayer first. Terrible name, hate the name. The bot's pretty cool looking. It's got this pretty slick design here. It's a vertical bar spinner, and they broke my heart last week with Duck. They fought Duck and broke apart its beak. It was very impressive first showing. This is their first time bot and a first time driver and a bot builder. So they're going up against Legend Minotaur. I love Minotaur. This vicious drum spinner they got here, very exciting, very impactful. And what they did is run by a guy named Marco Antonio Megliero, but it's driven by Daniel Fuentes. That's one of the best drivers in the game. Very passionate driver. And they show a video that just tugs at the heartstrings right before. Poor Daniel Fuentes, driver of Minotaur that you see right here. 2 weeks before this fight, he found out that his mom had COVID. And it was pretty serious, so he immediately flew back to Brazil. And as he landed, he found out that his mom and grandmother passed away. Heartbreaking video, and a lot weighing on his mind as he comes back. But he's like, well, I'm going to channel it into BattleBots. This is what I got. She loved that I like BattleBots, and she's always supported me. Well, I'm going to win it for her. Which is very sweet and very emotional if you like that stuff. But we don't like the fact that she passed, but we do like rooting for a hero, which was Minotaur, at least for me. But vicious drum spinner, very impactful. They lost against Sawblaze earlier in the season, and Sawblaze looked amazing there. They just charged him, flipped him over, and got one hit that destroyed the bot immediately. It was a lucky hit. It was a good hit. But let's see how Minotaur does here. Let's see the match that we got. So, of course, Dragon Slayer charges. Big clashes head on. Big clashes head on here. We get some mini flips out of this. We get some mini flips. We flip over Dragon Slayer a little bit. Woo. Right back at, why don't if I just do the controls? That's interesting. Big hits, fling them around, and then they get them over here, get them stuck in the wall, flipped over into the corner. Let's get more flipping over action over here. Flipped over into the corner, and very big hit, very good. Got stuck upside down and couldn't move. Couldn't move over in the corner, and this is a big win for Minotaur, and very emotional at the end. Very emotional at the end with Daniel talking about his mom passing away, and right in front of everyone. And you got it was very emotional stuff. Started crying, and it was hard to watch, but also very beautiful because it's a healing moment. Because he's there with his bot family, and that was really sweet. I hope Minotaur goes far. I want Minotaur to go very far in this tournament. I see them potentially avenging their loss to Sawblaze if given the right opportunity, and more control early on. More control early on. I think that's a big part of this. That's a big part of this. But I really have hard eyes for Minotaur. That's what you hear. So we're moving on with the night, but I will tell you, I am now 2-1. So I did fuck up with Black Dragon, but I know where the heart's at. The heart's at Minotaur. So I'm doing good now again. I'm really feeling it. Now we got Pain Train versus Yeti. Honestly, I was pretty excited for this fight. I'm not sure why. We got Pain Train here. Historically, Flunky Bot, run by BattleBots Die Hard, and also apparently a great driver in the smaller BattleBots division that's not aired. His name is Evan Arias. And it's got this very heavy drum spinner on the front. Very sharp looking bot. I like the look of the bot. Hate the name. But they lost against Deep Six. Deep Six, big heavy hitter that's just barely mobile. And they lost to him because they were having drive issues early on. Then they're going up against Yeti. Also, BattleBots Standby. Done some great work. This is a totally different looking bot than what we've seen in past seasons. Honestly, it's I don't like the new design as much as I like the old one. But it's still the same premise. You got some forks and you got a big heavy drum on the front. It's run by Greg Gibson and Christian Carlberg, a very alliterative names. And they lost to Mad Catter early in the season. And honestly, I was worried about the bot. I was worried about the functionality of the bot because it is much different than it was before. Much smaller weapon. And he was saying beforehand he's going to use strategy. If I know one thing about Yeti is they don't like strategy. Yeti just charges. Yeti charges, and that's what we love Yeti for. And that's what's made it so successful. And he started off a little bit this time, and while Pain Train held up, they were going at it a little bit. Some love taps here, some love taps there. Pain Train seemed to have like a little bit of upper hand. Started going after the wheels a little bit. We had a little wheel action over here, but it didn't fall off, don't worry. But then the old Yeti comes out. Bow, bow, bow. Starts smashing up Pain Train, singing some big hits. Really reckless driving, but I loved it. Loved every second of it. Flips it upside down. That's right. We got to flip upside down. And then starts hitting it over and over again. We get some pieces. I don't have pieces, so we'll have a wheel on here. Get some big hits, more and more, all throughout. Why am I making them small? And we get some good hits there. We get a KO. Get a big KO here. Gets him in the corner, and we get Yeti coming out victorious. They're now 1-1. Do I see them going far? Boy, would I like it. Boy, would I like them to go far in this, but we don't know. We honestly don't know. It's a different bot. It does look more durable. No, it always look durable. I just want to see that reckless driving that we saw in this one. And if they keep doing that, I think we're in the clear. But this is a big win for Yeti and a big win for Red's Guesses. That's another one. Pain Train. Moving on, we got HIJINX versus Kraken. HIJINX versus Kraken. Two fan favorites here for me. We got HIJINX here. Ooh, excuse me. We got HIJINX here, run by Jen Herkenroder. Jen Herkenroder. This big old horizontal bar spinner. It's 0-1. It lost against Mammoth early in the season. This thing has never showed its true potential. It's always had rough seasons, maybe got some wins here or there, but they weren't good wins. You know what I mean? They were wins against other like flunky bots. So we were really hoping for something good from them here, but going up against Kraken. Kraken is an aggressive crusher bot. They crush, they grapple, they move you around. They want to get those teeth sunk in you. And he did get bashed up real good by Rotator. We do know this. We do know that Rotator bashed him up real good. We got some explosions. But we're hopeful that they can make a comeback. But let's see how they fare against HIJINX. So what we get is a very interesting match, because how are you supposed to grab a hold of HIJINX? Because he keeps Kraken keeps going up against her, and he knocks her. He flips her over, actually. Flips her over early in the fight. But the thing is, she could drive inverted. She could drive inverted, and he couldn't get a hold on her. All he kept doing was running into that blade that was still spinning like a helicopter, and kept smashing in his teeth and smashing in the bot. And then eventually he does get some offense here. He grabs her and throws her up onto the platform. But what she does, she uses her freaking helicopter wings and kind of waddles off the stage and gets back on the ground, getting back in the action, keeps smashing up those teeth. And what we get? We get a judge's decision with an upside down HIJINX getting the win. Very good. Very fun match. This is a very fun night in general. Very fun night in general, honestly. A lot of fun action-packed stuff. We get this judge's decision, goes to Jen. Jen seems very nice. I like her as a captain, and I hope she goes far. I don't see this bot going terribly far because of the design. I don't think is very good. I think it's open to a lot of like those wheels are too exposed for me, and they're not big enough to drive very well inverted. They drive, but it's not great. There's not a lot of control there, so it's very easy to flip this bot over. We'll see how it goes. But we get a shocking twist for red. HIJINX did not win. HIJINX did win. Kraken did not win, and so I'm now 3-2. Am I 3-2? Yeah, 3-2. And so we'll see how the next one goes. And we get Defender versus Riptide. Defender, run by Jason Vasquez, part of the Vasquez family of Whiplash. And it's this grapple bot, lifter bot. They lost a Ribot early in the season by KO. I think there were just some issues that they really needed to punch up and punch out. Let's see how they do today. We get them against Defender. Both young 20-somethings running these bots, both fairly new to running their own team. It's run by, Riptide is run by Ethan Kurtz. It's an egg beater spinner here. Very powerful. They won against Huge. I think that win against Huge was kind of a fluke because Huge was doing a downward motion while it was doing an upward motion. And Huge is so late, it just flipped it right back up onto the rails. They couldn't do it. It felt like a fluke. So we're going to see what they could do in this one. But it was a big upset. So let's see what they could do. Honestly, like a great matchup. Great matchup here. They charge at each other. Both get inverted immediately. Let's get some double inversion here. Double invert. Double. And this actually, one of what happens with this one, Riptide gets thrown on its side and gets stuck on its side over here. They bash in the middle, gets stuck on its side, then Defender rights itself. It flips back up and then tries to help it out a little bit by getting back onto its front, but it ends up putting it right back onto its upside down now. And it's trying to smash into the wall because it could drive a little bit inverted, just not as effectively, or the weapon's not as useful. Smashes in the wall to try to get these big hits, but what it does, smashes into the barrier, gets this big hit. It smashes itself 15 feet in the air and lands back down. Could never get itself righted. And what Defender does is it just controls the match, picks it up, moves it around, just moves it around the bot, showing its control, showing it can move it, and showing that Riptide really doesn't have much to offer in this one. It's a belt. Both the drum starts slowing down. I think it gets right side up at one point. And yeah, then we get they both start struggling to the end. They both start moving pretty slowly because they both took some damage. But we do go to judge's decision. Chapter getting their first win. Little Jason Vasquez trying to match up to big brother Matty Vasquez, and now we've got a bunch of Vasquez's winning in BattleBots. Very exciting stuff. And I like the team. Do I like this bot? It has some promise. It's a little complicated. There's so many things that driver has to do. I just see it being a more of an issue when you go up against more experienced bots. Like when they faced Ribot earlier. But what you see here is I did guess Defender was going to win because I did not believe in Riptide. I just didn't do it. And now we're at the main event of the evening. Thank you all so much for joining me. This is honestly a pretty cool main event that we have. We have Hypershock, Will Bales, and Hypershock. Big vertical disc spinner here. And they're 1-0 against Slam Mao. They just smashed Slam Mao. Smashed them to pieces. It was pretty exciting stuff. They just charged and got it. They're a very fast bot, great driving. And they've had some good seasons. They've had some bad seasons. But never... They've only had okay seasons, honestly. Never a really good one because they have these great moments and then they kind of flunk out. But so far this season, they're looking really good. And Will Bales has definitely mellowed out a little bit, which I'm excited for. Now we have Lockjaw, run by veteran Donald Hudson. Donald Hudson, another vertical spinner right in the center there. And he's got an 0-1 record. They got smashed up pretty good against Copperhead. Him and Copperhead went at it, and they just kind of banged against each other a little bit. And he got smashed up real good, but lasted the entire time. Lasted a judge's decision. Let's see how they do here. Honestly, this was a really heavy-hitting fight. Start love tapping in here, start smashing. And then we get some big hits, and what happens? Hypershock messes up their wheel. Then what Hypershock does is smashes into Donald Hudson, flips him over. Now we're going to flip this bot over, as is custom. Flip that bot, and then they lose a wheel. I only have one wheel, so we're going to have to share a wheel for this. Sorry. But Donald Hudson could still drive inverted, and they still battle each other, but man, is Hypershock now taking advantage. Both its wheels are pretty fucked up at this point, and keeps pushing it around. It sees it in the corner, and what it does, zoop, hits it, flies it out of the battle box. It's out of here. Why don't you get Hypershock getting the win here? Hypershock has a lot of potential this year. I think they dialed down the driving, they dialed down the weapon, and I see it going pretty far, honestly. I'm pretty excited about it. Can it beat Sawblaze? That's something we have to discuss and we have to think about. Can Sawblaze be beaten? Did I get I guess Lockjaw was going to win. Woof. So yeah, I do think that Hypershock is much better than it has been in past years. Can they face Sawblaze and do well? I don't know. That scoop is very scary. But sound off in the comments when you watch this. Let me know what you think. But thank you all so much for watching Thoughts on Bots. Thoughts on Bots has been a project of passion project, you might say. And it's really blown up, as you can see. So sorry for my audio difficulties in the beginning. Please don't hold it against me. Hopefully you didn't tune out immediately, too. That's also another thing. I'm going to have to edit it for the replay. But thank you all so much. This has been BattleBots. This is Thoughts on Bots about BattleBots. It's my thoughts on BattleBots. And my name is Red Geartooth Jefferson. Geartooth Red Jefferson. And I hope you all have a great night. Bye.
Through the streets, back to me.